Hi, this is Pat with Right Channel Radios. Choosing the right CB equipment for your vehicle can be a daunting task. And so today we're going to go over really how to differentiate radios and antennas from each other and how to choose the right equipment for your specific vehicle and needs. First off, and we've hit on this before, all CB radios are tuned from the factory to transmit at 4 watts of power. So when you're choosing a CB radio, it's not necessarily about finding the most powerful one on the market. Rather, it's finding a radio that first fits in your vehicle and then second has the features that you want. So for instance, if you drive a big truck, let's say you're driving a box truck, a big rig, something like that, well, you're going to have a lot of room in your cab to install a radio. You could install something more of a full-size unit like this President Walker 3 here. But if you drive a Jeep, let's say you're in a UTV or you're in a Toyota Tacoma, you're not going to have as much cab space. You're going to want a little bit smaller of a radio, something that you can install in there and isn't going to be taking up loads of room. Maybe something like Cobra 75 with all the controls in the handset. Now, radios these days have lots of different features. Common features on radios are channel scanning. Lots of them have a backlit display or a really nice digital display. Automatic, channels 9 to 19, weather channels. Lots of radios have the option to hook up a PA speaker, external speaker. Some of them are equipped with Bluetooth or have Bluetooth compatibility. Some are completely wireless, like this Cobra 75. While it has a plug to power the microphone cord, you actually don't need to hook that up directly to the control box. So it works or communicates via Bluetooth to the control box. So you can put the control box, under a seat or something like that. Anyway, choosing the features that you want on the radio are really what's going to help you find the radio that is going to best meet your needs, as well as choosing the radio that is the right size. If the radio isn't what dictates the range of your CB system, it's going to be the antenna, because all the power is equal here. So choosing a high quality antenna and mounting it in the right place on your vehicle is really what's going to give you the best possible range and distance of communication. So how do we do that? Well, first off, you just got to consider what kind of vehicle you have and where you can mount an antenna. Let's say if you have a large SUV, well then maybe you're going to want to put a magnet antenna on the very top of the vehicle, and or maybe you want to put a fiberglass antenna down on the hood. Now, how you choose which antenna you want to install is really basically where can you install the antenna, and then what is going to be the most ideal scenario. So there's 3 different types of antennas. We have a base-loaded antenna right here, like this Wilson 1000 magnet, a center-load antenna, which has the coil of the antenna in the center, and then a fiberglass antenna, like the Fire Stick FS. This is a top-loaded antenna because it has the coil on the top of the antenna here. Each of these antennas is made for a specific use. So we'll start with a magnet. So magnet antennas, because they have a coil in the base, this antenna is made to mount on the very top and hopefully center roof of a vehicle that has a metal roof. The way antennas work is the transmission of your signal goes out from the antenna coil. So with this antenna coil is at the bottom, and then you would install a large metal whip like this on the top of the antenna. And again, you would want to put this right on the very top of your vehicle so that you can transmit easily in all directions. Where you would not want to put this antenna is, let's say if you have a pickup truck and you wanted to mount an antenna in the bed of your truck. Well, you would not want to use a magnet. Like if you put this magnet on the bed rail of your truck right behind your metal cab, that would just create huge reflection issues. So just picture this mounted onto a pickup bed and then that flat cab right up next to it. When the antenna is trying to transmit, the signals are just going to hit that cab and reflect right off. That would not be in an ideal scenario. Using that same example, if you were going to mount in the back of a pickup bed, you'd want to use some kind of angled mount, something similar to this, maybe something that didn't have this foot on it, right? You would mount it to the back of the bed, and then you would thread in a top loaded antenna, because the coil of this antenna would then, go over the top of the, clear the roof. I like to try to clear the roof of any antenna. I like half of the antenna at least clearing the roof of your vehicle. That's ideal for these fiberglass antenna installations. But anyway, then that coil would be up, and as you're transmitting, right, it would transmit up and over the top of the cab, and you wouldn't have reflection issues like that. Keep in mind, fiberglass antennas come in all lengths and sizes. So this one here's a nice, this is kind of like middle of the road Firestick FS antenna. This is the Driver Extreme, kind of this huge, heavy duty, thick antenna. This is also just I think 30-incher. And then here's something like the little Francis, kind of short and thin whip. Fiberglass antennas are generally available in lengths, 2 foot to 5 foot, and in many different gauges. Another thing about fiberglass antennas I wanted to mention is, one great thing about fiberglass antennas is you can add all kinds of accessories like antenna springs or antenna quick disconnects, fold over adapters, or both, right? The last antenna I want to cover is the center loader trucker antenna. So you can see here, this is where the coil of the antenna is. This also has a whip that goes along with it and gives you, around, I think, 48 to 50 inches, I think, in total length on this particular one. But anyway, these are called trucker antennas because often these will be installed onto the mirror arms on a semi-truck. So it will install in the mirror arm. This coil will still clear the roof of the cab, and you can talk for long distances. It's also a very high performance antenna. So when you choose your antenna, it's really critical that you get the right one so you can get maximum range. You're not getting reflection you're not getting signal reflection off the body of your vehicle. Let's talk about some antenna mounts really quick. So first off, we have all kinds of antenna mounts that are made specifically for different vehicle make and models. So, if you have a Jeep, if you have a Toyota, if you have a F-150, we have mounts that are all made specifically for those vehicles. Also, we have mounts that are made, for mounting in pickup beds, flat surfaces, vertical surfaces, and we have adjustable mounts. So we have many metal mounts similar to this for just a multitude of mounting scenarios. When you are attaching a mount like this, one thing that's very important is that this mount attaches to the metal body of your vehicle or has a really solid ground via another method, maybe a grounding strap. So you need the mount to be attached to the metal body of the vehicle because the antenna uses the metal body of the vehicle to create a reflective ground plane. So it's very important that the mount is grounded to your vehicle. Then you want to make sure you choose a coaxial cable that is compatible with your mount. So each mount, typically mounts have a 1/2-inch hole in the middle, and then this antenna stud, this portion right here, is installed on that. And you can change out antenna studs very easily. This is a PL259 antenna stud that is compatible with a PL259 threaded cable, just like that. And then the other end threads into the back of the radio. All CB radios have what's called an SO239 connection on the back. This is universal for all radios, so all coax cables, all CB coax cables will thread into the back. You just have to make sure that, of course, your CB coax all CB coax cables have a PL259 connection. So just make sure it's a CB coax cable, and that'll thread onto the back of the radio. The one difference is that, some antenna studs, again, this part right here, this is the antenna stud. Some antenna studs are designed for PL259 coax cables like this one, and some are designed for ring coax cables like this one that I already have set up here. Okay, this you can see that the CB antenna stud's a little different, and the coax cable attaches at a 90-degree angle. This is really good for vehicles where you might not have as much room between the vehicle body and the mount. So you get a ring-style coax cable so it can exit at 90 degrees. But of course, on the other end of the coax cable will always be that PL259 connection that threads into the back of the radio. Again, we have many packages on our website that are made specifically for different makes and models of vehicles that include the coax cable, the mount, antenna recommendations, even radio recommendations, all that good stuff. So if you don't want to worry about all these specifics, you can always call our team or you contact us, and we are happy to make some very specific recommendations for you. One feature I wanted to mention about radios is built-in SWR meters. Some of the larger radios do have built-in SWR meters, so you can tune your antenna just using the SWR meter that is in the radio. However, if you have a smaller compact unit, you will need to get an external meter like this to be able to tune your antenna. It's a straightforward process, and we have a step-by-step guide to take you through that. I hope this was helpful to you in your journey to choose the right equipment for your vehicle. Again, if you want to make it easy on yourself, just contact us. We're happy to make a specific recommendation for your year, make, and model of vehicle and get you the best gear. Thanks for listening. Again, my name's Pat with Right Channel Radios.